NEXIM, as you might know, was set up as the Export Credit Agency of Nigeria, as well as to play the role as an Export Development Bank of Nigeria. Now, export financed by NEXIM is non-oil export, okay, which is to be a diversification from the mainstay of Nigeria's economy, which is oil. So NEXIM, from onset in 1991 when it was set up with the intention of growing other sectors of the economy that will contribute to foreign exchange earnings and exports of Nigerian produce to international markets. Now, the vision of NEXIM Bank has been to try and extract value from our external trade to ensure that we keep moving up the global trade value chain. In other words, being that we try to put in some processing to extract value. And I'll give you an example. From trade of cocoa beans, the volumes you trade to get minimal price with the same quantity of cocoa, if you process it into the first level of production, which is butter, powder, and cocoa, you extract 4 times the value. So it's always been the vision of NEXIM and the focus of NEXIM to try and scale up our production capacity within the Nigerian trade value chain and exports of Nigeria. So the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is emphasizing what the mandate of NEXIM is by creating a diversified source of foreign exchange earnings, by increasing the value of that diversification, which is industrialization, and creating opportunities and jobs for Nigerians. So NEXIM's vision and objectives of scaling up and moving the production value chain up through processing and extracting value will create different developmental impacts. You're bringing more foreign exchange, you're creating jobs, you're empowering entrepreneurs. One of the points in the 8-point agenda of this administration is to focus on that: diversification, industrialization, creation of jobs, to ensure that we are strengthening the economy. And that is why NEXIM was set up in the first instance. NEXIM exists to grow non-oil exports. And in the recent years, you'll see that the contribution of oil has been diminishing while that of non-oil has been growing. Now, NEXIM has been a pivotal contributor to the growth of non-oil proceeds. Today, we can boast to say at about 270,000 tons of installed capacity for production of cocoa was financed by NEXIM Bank. In the share sector, prior to this, 60% of global production of shea nuts is in Nigeria. Today, we have 3 major companies, all financed by NEXIM Bank, that are large-scale producers and processors of shea. In every subsector of the export value chain, in terms of agri-produce, what we're doing is that we're putting down the processing capacity for Nigerian exporters. As a matter of fact, we have an acronym that we call PAVE, which is we produce, add value before export. And that is the philosophy with which we operate on. Traditionally, Nigerian exports have been agro-based. So even today, most of Nigerian non-oil exports is dominated by agriculture and agro products. They still dominate Nigeria's export. Okay, so we have the traditional cocoa, sesame, cashews, hibiscus, and what have you. Soya is also taking a very prominent spot in export of Nigeria's produce. So today you have the creative industry, where the musicians, the Nigerian firms, and even technology has become a very big export out of Nigeria, non-oil export out of Nigeria. Nigeria's solid mineral is still contributing probably less than 1% of the total exports out of Nigeria. And so it is an area that we are focused on, and we have a plan for gradual growth of solid mineral contribution to total exports of Nigeria, starting from our own portfolio, to now say that at least 10% of our total portfolio within the next 3 years should come from exports of solid minerals. If you speak of challenges, I will want to look at it from two perspectives. The first is domestic challenges, many of which we already know around infrastructure, around logistics, around packaging, around certification. But for me, when we say we have challenges, I look at them more as opportunities. What we are trying to do is create, as a country, create as many businesses and as many entrepreneurs as possible. So where we have challenges, for me, it is actually an opportunity for entrepreneurship and capital to move towards that place. When we say we don't have enough port infrastructure, it's an opportunity for new investments to go into port infrastructure. And I'm not saying that there are not challenges. There are really challenges as it is now, but I would rather look at it from a positive perspective. We're doing our part by providing funding at very low interest rates. In the international market, the first thing that we want to see as a mitigant to the biggest challenge in international market is the vagaries of prices, the movement of prices that may affect the profitability or the viability of an export. That's why we keep trying to encourage our exporters to keep moving up the value chain in production, so that, because the more you move up the value chain, the less international price movements affect you. Okay? So it is not predictable how prices will move. There are also things like trade protection, the politics of trade that affect our exporters. So there are challenges, yes, but every challenge that is identified is domestic. For me, is an opportunity. Those that are beyond us are things that we have to find ways of going around to make those trading in those markets better for Nigeria. Today, technology plays an important role in market accessibility, information, data, and so on and so forth. So one of the things that we have done, and we are replicating across all commodities, is what we call the Cocoa Connect, where all the resources of the cocoa value chain in the country are in one platform. Okay, and it's kind of a directory where you can be connected as an off-taker, or if you want information, if you want to make an order, if you want to get connected to individual cocoa aggregators and exporters, you can do it from anywhere in the world. We've done it and it is working successfully, and it was a pilot. Plantation Industries used to be a company that used to trade cocoa. They export a lot of cocoa beans. Today, Plantation Industries is one of the largest producers of cocoa butter in Africa. And NEXIM is a major enabler of plantation industries. Today we have 3 large industrial complexes that are just processing shea butter, shea oil, and other byproducts of shea for export. Okay. Now, this is what we want to keep replicating across all sectors of the economy. We want to now meet our vision to be the biggest export development bank in Africa. And we can only do that by empowering others to be exporters of Nigeria's produce into the rest of the world.
Are you an existing or potential exporter of non-oil goods and services? Here are 3 easy steps to access NEXIM Bank loans. 1. Write a formal letter of application. 2. Complete a NEXIM Bank application form. 3. Submit application with the following supporting documents: CTC of Certificate of Incorporation and Documentation, registration with NEPC, evidence of licenses or permit where applicable, detailed feasibility study or business plan, environmental impact assessment report EIA, 3 years past audited accounts or statement of affairs, pro forma invoice from supplier, copies of export contract / offtake agreement, valuation report of the proposed security. For more information, visit our website at www.neximbank.gov.ng. Send us a mail at neximabj@neximbank.com.ng. Call us on +234 209 460 3630. Customer care on 0903 000 2541. Follow us on all our social media platforms or visit us at NEXIM House, Plot 975, Kur Mohammed Avenue, off Ahmadu Bello Way, Central Business District, Abuja. The Nigerian Export-Import Bank, the pivot of export and allied matters.